Hi, if you like the video, please remember to subscribe. Hi, I'm Rob from robnunphoto.com, and in today's video about the Spyder4Pro from Datacolor, I'm going to be kind of exploring the possibilities of bringing an old laptop back to life. This is my old Acer Aspire 5720 Windows XP laptop. It was a great workhorse for quite a few years actually. It was actually a second hand from my son. He moved on to a better laptop and I got this one. And you know, I mean, what is it? It's an Intel Core G processor, 2.2 gigahertz, it's got 2 gigabytes of RAM. I think it's got something like an 80 gigabyte hard drive. And it runs Windows XP. Now, it was a great laptop in its time, and now it's a little bit long in the tooth. The main problem it has a horrendous overheating problem. So if you do anything that's really processor intensive, like trying to render some HD video or render video full stop, it will overheat and turn itself off. You know, and I've sucked all the dust out, I've had the back off and everything. I think basically the heatsink needs to come off and all needs redoing. But you know, I've got a new laptop for doing that that's much faster anyway, so I use that. However, the reason why I keep the 5720 around is because it still runs my old Epson scanners that I used to scan my 35mm film and my slides. And it's also always good to have an old laptop or an old computer around that does run some of the old software, like Windows XP, Windows 98 even, because a lot of the old film equipment for scanning or doing various different things, often the drivers haven't been updated for 64-bit operating systems like Windows 8, Windows 7, etc. And all of a sudden you just can't use the stuff easily anymore, and that's the case with my old Epson scanner. So I keep this baby around, and when I develop some film and I want to scan it, you know, I get this out, dust it off and set it up. However, the problem it has always had is the screen is incredibly difficult to calibrate. It comes with, I think, Adobe Gamma or something, which is like a self-calibrating thing you can do. Maybe you've had a go on your laptop, where it gives you pictures of grey discs, grey squares, sorry, and you've got to kind of look for the greys and adjust the contrast and things. But it always comes out very, very blue. When I'm looking at black and white photographs on the screen, although it's nice and colourful for colour, for black and white everything looks like it's been toned to have a blue finish, which makes it incredibly difficult to process anything. And I can imagine when you're scanning something, you scan even a black and white negative, it's difficult to see the tones, especially with colour stuff. You haven't got a chance to know whether you've got a decent scan or not until you get it onto your other computer. So it's really important to bring this display up to date, if you like, to calibrate it with the Spyder4Pro, because then you will have the consistency of colours across all your displays. I've done it on my new Acer laptop, we've done it on the extra screen, I've done a video about that, haven't I? And now it's time to bring this thing up to snuff as well. And it's amazing, it's a bit like almost having a new laptop, because you calibrate the screen, all of a sudden the colours pop again and you've got more confidence in using the device. So I've already installed the software. Remember, with the Spyder4Pro you can install it on as your machines as you like. So I've installed that. I've got the Spyder4Pro plugged in. So what we'll do now is I'll bring the camera closer, and then we'll go through most of the calibration process, and then we'll see, you know, the final results at the end, and hopefully you'll be able to see the quite significant difference as to what the display is now, which looks okay when I'm looking at stuff. But you know, remember what I've talked about in videos before, where our eyes are so good at allowing for color casts, we just can't trust them. And displays over time, even from the factory, they're not, the colors aren't quite right and the tones aren't quite right, and over time they change. So we've got to, if we want a consistency of color throughout our photographic workflow, you know, including printing and sharing, you've really got to calibrate, and so you've got that level playing field. Anyway, without further ado, let's get the camera closer, let's go through the calibration process, you know, and let's look at the final results when we get to the end. Okay, so we flashed up the Spyder4Pro software. We can tick these boxes now. We've left the monitor warming up for half an hour. There's no intense light falling on the screen. I've reset the monitor and I've plugged the Spyder in. Let's go on to the next section. And it just asks me what type of display is it. Well, it's a laptop display, so we click just down here. The manufacturer of the monitor is a standard monitor. In fact, let's go back. Acer, there they are. In fact, let me just check. I did say it was a laptop, didn't I? Just make sure I got that right. Yeah, it's a laptop. It's funny you question yourself, don't you? Let's carry on. Let's see where we get to. Standard monitor type. Just getting used to the touchscreen. Into display model. Gamut, again I don't know, unknown. Backlight, I don't know. Let's carry on. So it's telling me what it should have, and then I say yes. So now I have to put my Spyder onto the screen. There we go. Let's tip the screen back a fraction just so it can get a good seal. Just like that. And then we say next. And the calibration process begins. So now it's going to start flashing lots of different colours and tones through the screen and through the Spyder4Pro to come up with a custom calibration. So what I'll do now is I will pause the video, and then, because you don't want to just sit here for the next sort of 4 minutes while it does this, and then we'll come back at the end and look at the results. Okay, so the profiling is finished, so we're almost at the end. So it's just asking me to save the profile, so I'm just going to do that. And it says, congratulations, your new profile has been created. Your system will automatically use this new profile. Let's click on next. Wait for the old computer to catch up. Apologies for how slow it is, but it's done its service, and that racket you can hear is the fan doing its best to keep that processor cool. Click on next again. Let's see what happens. Right, so here we go. Now this is the new calibrated view, and you may well say, well, I can't see any difference, and I probably can't see any difference either. So let's zoom in. Let's zoom right in so it fills the screen. There we go. So let's pick, I don't know, this picture here for a skin tone picture. And what we're going to have now is we're going to have probably the oh my gosh moment. Now remember, I'm recording this through a video camera that's doing automatic white balance, so it's probably adjusting, but I'm going to switch now to the uncalibrated view, and we're going to see the change. Oh my god. So that's what I was trying to edit my photos with, and edit my scans, that view. Let's go back to the calibrated view. How much better is that? How much better is that? So let's go back and have a look at this black and white image here. So that's how my calibrated screen was. Let's see what it looked like before it was calibrated. How blue is that? That is terrible. Calibrated, nice. It's basically greys and blacks and whites, and that's basically blues, lighter blues, and very light blues, and some dark blues. Let's have a look at a colour. I don't know. Let's have a green. Let's look at this green thing. Oh, in fact, how about this sunset picture here? So calibrated, uncalibrated. That's very cool, that, isn't it? So if you're ever looking at my photos on Flickr, you know, from a few months ago through back in time, you'll probably notice that they probably all look a little bit warm, because I've been trying to make up for the fact that when I was using this computer and editing things, I was trying to make up for a very cool monitor. So calibrated, uncalibrated. Oh gosh, that's terrible. Wow. So there we go. The Datacolor Spyder4Pro. You know, if there's any proof that you wanted as to, you know, that this little device can help you improve the quality of your photo editing by making sure that you've got a level playing field. So when it comes to sharing your photos, when it comes to printing them out, when it comes to giving them to other people, you know, if you're not calibrating your screens, even between your computers at home, maybe, you know, your laptop, your desktop, an old laptop like this one that I use for scanning, you're just asking for trouble, and you're just not going to have that consistency, and ultimately you're going to become frustrated, like I was quite a lot, because you find that it's very difficult, because you do your editing and then you look at them on another computer or on your phone, for example, or a tablet, and you go, gosh, it didn't look like that. Why did it look like that? It's much darker, it's much lighter, or the colours are slightly out. What you can also see in this screen is really how poor lots of laptop screens are. I mean, this laptop screen is only showing 56% of the sRGB spectrum, which is pretty rubbish. If you look at the earlier video I did where I calibrate the second monitor, which is a standalone monitor, which wasn't an expensive monitor, but it's good for 96%, you can see how if you are editing your photos, especially colour photos on a laptop screen, you're not really getting the whole picture. But at least with the Datacolor Spyder4Pro, I know that the colours I'm getting are real, and I'm going to have consistency across my photographic and my black and white colour workflow and black and white workflow. That's it from me. My name's Rob from robnunphoto.com. I hope this video has been at least a little bit informative and encourage you to have a go at colour management, and check out Datacolor's Spyder4Pro. It's a steal when you think about the value it's giving you in terms of improving your photography. Remember, you can email me scalespeeder@gmail.com, or head on over to www.robnunphoto.com. that's ROBNUNNPHOTO, and please put your comments in the box down below, down there, and please subscribe to the channel if you like what you see. That's enough from me. Thanks for watching, and maybe, hopefully pretty soon, I'll see you on Flickr.